Coach Smart talked about how hard it is to defend a quarterback like Jalen Milroe, the fact he can keep plays alive and scramble. Just what is the discipline it takes as a defensive back to try to keep up when you don't know exactly what he's going to do on a given play?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is just kind of trusting the front to do their job, and they're trusting us to do our job. You know how rush and coverage works together. I think we got to do a great job on the back end of scrambling and staying in coverage, not coming out of coverage, and letting the front do their job, and just trusting them that they're going to stay in the rush lanes, and we all play as a unit, be connected. I think that's the biggest thing.
Yeah, what has Travaris Robinson said this week about facing his old team in Alabama, and how much do you think a win would mean for him this week?
Yeah, really just, he's such a competitive person, and I think that's the biggest thing, from this week. It's just like he wants to go out there and compete, win, like there's no bad blood or any hatred or anything. He just wants to go in and be competitive, and he knows like they have good players, we have good players, so it's gonna be a really good game, but he just wants us to go out there and do our job and just let loose.
Yeah, Malaki, you've already accomplished a lot in your time here, but the one thing you haven't done is beat Alabama. Just how much of a motivation is that for you and maybe some of the other guys in that 22 class that came in with you?
Yeah, I think that's a little tough because that was our first loss, at least my class for us coming in. So just kind of wanted to check that box off, just do the right thing. But really just want to focus on day by day, the steps that we need to take to be able to get to that point, and just grow throughout the week so we can go out there and just be us on Saturday.
Yeah, how does having a versatile defender like Jalen Walker in the front make your life easier as a secondary?
Yeah, when you got a guy like him who can, rush or stand on the line or even drop in coverage, plays on for a little bit. I think it helps a lot, because like I said, rush and coverage works together. So if you got a guy, he's coming like that, you got to get the ball out pretty quick, and that allows me to do my job a lot easier. With him and Michael and those guys up front. Just freaks. It allows me just to go out there and just let loose.
Seen Tyran from Dawkins make some plays the last couple of weeks. Just what does he bring to that defensive line and what you've seen from him so far this year?
He's a big part. I think the biggest thing is he's been practicing very well. He's been having his best games too, and I think he slept on a lot. A lot of people don't really talk about him, but he's one of those guys that you gotta watch out for. He's athletic, he's strong, he's physical, he can move. He has everything that you want to have. So just to see him, and he stepped up into a bigger role too. Just kind of being able to lead some of the guys and to just step into a new role of his. And I'm excited to see what he's going to do for sure.
Yeah, during a week like this, how much do you and another guy like Dan, who's played a lot of football, compare notes on what you saw from Milroe last year, and also how much y'all just share that experience with guys like Jonell and KJ having played against Milroe?
Yeah, I think that's a week-to-week, day-to-day thing. It's not just this week. I think it's any week. Me and Dan sit beside each other in meetings, so we talk. And if you see something, hey, like how do you see this? Do you see this as that, or do you make this call? We bounce back and forth, just trying to get on the same page, be on the same level, and I think that just kind of rubs down from the top to the bottom. The young guys. It's kind of the same thing. We get out to the field, hey, like if they do this, where you have this, if they motion, what do you got? So just trying to be able to, think about, pre-snap motion and, like anticipate what's going to happen. I think that's the biggest thing, just so we can all be on the same page, because you're never all going to be on the same page, but you can get as close as you possibly can.
Yeah, Dylan was just telling us that the team is aware of what Jalen Milroe said about you guys quitting in last year's SEC championship.
Yeah.
Just how much motivation does that provide this defense?
Yeah, I think, it is what it is. I think, that's this kind of defense we got. We're a very competitive defense. We believe that we're very strong, we're physical and fast, and that's how we play the game of football. You come to Georgia to play defense, and I think that's what it is. And like they have a great offense, so we got back to work for sure. It's not really a thing that we try to harp on too much. We just want to go out there and be the best defense that we can be.
There's been an awful lot of fuss made over their wide receiver Ryan Williams, the 17-year-old freshman.
Yeah.
Just your view of him, and what kind of a challenge does he present in their wide receiver core overall?
Yeah, don't let the age fool you. He can go.
Yeah.
And I think you know, a bunch of people kind of got that I was kind of saying, you know, he's a young player in the SEC, whatever, blah blah blah. But he can play, and I think, you know, you gotta be on your P's and Q's, just being able to be on the same page. You know, he's great catch radius. He's fast, quick. He can move. You know, so that's gonna be very competitive, and the whole game's gonna be very competitive. So we're excited about it.
Malaki, I was going to ask you about Ryan, but since he did, I was just going to circle back to the question about Milroe. So did you disagree with his assessment that he said that you guys looked defeated and didn't want it anymore?
You know, I don't try to pay too much attention to it. You know, I don't ever think that's something that you know, that goes with the G is being defeated. I don't think that at all. But you know, it is what it is, and we just, like I said, we just want to go be the best defense that we can be.
How did the win in Kentucky, how can kind of pulling out a game like that in the fourth quarter help you guys going into another road environment this Saturday and going down the rest of the season?
Yeah, it's hard to win on the road in the SEC. It's hard to win on the road in general, but especially in the SEC. And I think, you know, when you have those type of games, you really just figure out what type of team you got. You know, I think we saw that we were very connected and had a bunch of resiliency. You know, that we're able to take care of each other. Defense is able to take care of offense. Offense is able to take care of defense when needed. So I think you really learn about your team and what kind of guys you have on your roster when you have games like that.
Any more from Malaki? All right, thank you, Malaki.
Thanks, Malachi.